Today's video was brought to you by my Ko-fi tippers. And quite literally as well, because with those funds I went out and got this tableau. I wanted it when it released. People have been telling me, Sam, this is the one for Bro Canon. What should be a fun little non-fiction book about all the different monsters and Doctor Who is actually a way more fun collection of new origins, new ideas, secrets that we've never known about some of Doctor Who's biggest villains. And the slug. Every page wants to expand the Doctor Who continuity in the oddest of ways. For instance, the Weeping Angels can actually fly. Those wings aren't just for show, they're not ceramic. The reason that we don't see them flying is because, think it through, flying kind of attracts attention. And if you're a Weeping Angel, getting spotted in midair might not go great for you. That's real, that's canon now. See, on the book it says non-fiction. Similarly, the book posits that Toclophane didn't disappear at the end last of the Time Lords, and actually went on to become the Quarks. Literally none of that works. But I don't care, I'm having so much fun. Here's a passage about the Silents, who are actually always naked. They go to a nudist church, remember? They project dapper suits onto themselves, because reportedly the sight of a naked Silent is too horrible to bear. Azal, the demon! He was the last of his species. Turns out the fatal flaw of their kind was actually incredibly common. This Satan parallel can be defeated by a single act of altruism. If it witnessed a single act of goodness, it would cause them to self-immolate. No wonder they fucking died out. Goodbye, Time Lord! I must now spontaneously combust! The Gorgon Medusa myth was invented by the Fendal. The core image of its human avatar was implanted into our race memory. Also, they can be killed with salt. That's not a joke, it says that. Again, aren't you literally Satan? The Flood never refers to itself as the Flood, so how did the Doctor know how to call it that? Well, this book has thought of everything. At every point in Waters of Mars, the Doctor's overhearing their telepathic transmissions. Listening in on their conversations, water to water. Not enough to know where they are at any given time, it seems. Or maybe he did. Weird story, really. Thin Ice's Icelophius is native to Earth. This massive sea creature turns the story Thin Ice into the revival's one pure historical. Hi, Mrs. Dollard? Did you sign off on this? Did you know that vampires endured as a genetic template? Well, that's what Lazarus was in the Lazarus experiments. He became part vampire. Sure, whatever. How are the BBC letting you get away with this? The Jagrafess of the second holy Maxarodon foe. If I was 10, I could tell you the whole thing. He gets an entire origin. He's a type of land shark that lives in marsh. Brutal, cutthroats. Capitalists went to their planet and was like, that's the alpha shark we need to head our new team. Head office. And installed him upstairs. Also, he knows what a Time Lord is.
Time Lord? What? Oh, yes. The last of the Time Lords and his travelling machine. Time travel.
This book has the headcanon that the Jagrafess was briefed on the Time Lords by its Dalek masters. That actually tracks. Oh, did you know the Merker is actually a playful, placid creature? It's really nice. It could knock down steel walls like they were made of foam rubber.
Sure, Jan.
He doesn't know what he's doing, he's just trying to hang out. The book actually makes a number of in-universe excuses for why some of Doctor Who's baddies are so lame, or easily defeated. The Nimon, for instance. Nimon's heads are animatronics. Machines, purposely fake and oversized to convince others it's wearing a bad mask. Yeah, sure. That's what it is. Apparently, these big fake artificial heads are so effective and scary that across the galaxy, there are entire worlds that have fallen to them, and they all send the same valedictory message. How many Nimon have you seen today? He also tries to explain why Sutek, god of death, is held in place in his prison by a series of children's puzzles.
Horus, think you can confound Sutek with these childish stratagems?
supposedly to torture Sutek with the knowledge that his freedom was just this far away. Ridiculous. The Krolls. These fucking guys! The android invasion ends with the Krolls creating an anti-human virus. Turns out they were so busy building their replica village that they weren't paying attention to their actual villain plan, and Stigron used the wrong sample. Stigron, no, you used the wrong virus! That one's lethal to us!
Oh no, I'm so clumsy.
The book also covers for twin dilemmas, vague, bad ending. Have you ever noticed how they leave all of the evil gastropods down in the tunnels? They defeat Lord Mestor, but there's still like an entire planet's worth down there that they all forget about. The book says perhaps he knew the others would become mindless roaming beasts that could be killed with lasers. Or again, salt. Yeah, thanks book. Convenient if true. Giant clams were the first project of the Thals made to counter the hand mines from Magician's Apprentice. Huh. So that's where Davros got his Dalek inspiration, huh? The ostensibly pure Paradigm Daleks were removed from power, they vanished from the galaxy because their appearance invited mockery. The Paradigm Daleks got bullied out of existence. I guess that's fair enough though. One of them had a crush on the Doctor, according to this one. Cringe alerts! Remember the Scasis paradigm that the Krillitanes are trying to crack? They're trying to crack the code, hack the world, when really all they have to do is get in their ship and invade Logopolis. Ice Warrior is not a name given to them by humans or a racial slur. Now it's a title they gave to themselves whilst fighting the Flood. The Yeti were constructed out of fur, taxidermy, and random parts from the Science and History Museum. Adorable! Absorbaloths need to be as naked as possible at all times, as they are always drawing sustenance in through their skin. This is why Peter Kay canonically wears a thong. John Morris, John, slow down! Alpha Centauri channel all negative thoughts into extreme stress relief games of ping pong. According to them, it's the reason they're near immortal. Okay, that evolutionary design for eye contact, ambiguous unthreatening voices and other traits are all to ensure the perfect diplomats. Their species also has no individual gender or names as to not offend. It's a culture of etiquette. I don't know, this one kind of rubbed me the wrong way. How do you make a Hale script right wing? Prisoner Zero liked to sneak out to feed the ducks. Shakespeare summoned the three Carrionites through his sheer grief and skill as a writer. There is nobody in human history who has grieved harder than William Shakespeare. Nobody ever mourned quite as eloquently as him, apparently. Remember this line?
One day, a brook will even fall in love with a Tandonian prince, and that's the start of a whole new species.
Turns out the species the Doctor is referencing is catkind. Adelaide's descendant fucked a cat. Clockwork droids came into fashion because all this newer technology was gaining a negative reputation, after Vok robots, Kablam men, handbots, and heavenly hosts all had nervous breakdowns. Apparently, very publicly. Who asked for an Adipose origin? Here it is! The Adipose are parasites that formed a symbiotic relationship to a blubbery space whale, using it as a surrogate womb for birthing children. The fang that the little baby wants to have? That's the fertilizer. They're described as walking tumours. Apparently, without the worry of reproduction or raising children, they became ultra sophisticated in almost no space of time. Nearly on par with the Time Lords. The Adipose. But we're still not done yet. In City of Death, Scarif bred Count Scarleone's whole bloodline. There's a reason he always looks the same no matter what era he's in. Not because he could time travel. Scarif lived through all of human history by stealing the skins of all of Scarleone's family. He bred a human family for their skins. What is wrong with this amazing book? Harmony Shoal, the brains in the jars, they realised, kind of awkwardly, that ditching their brains was an evolutionary mistake, and so they wanted to get new ones. Apparently, Dr. Mysterio came first for them, and then they rescued the others and hid out for 3,000 years. Next time we see them, their far-off descendants are trying to steal the head of King Hydroflax, sucking up to him so they can steal his body. Or head. The Ergon. The Ergon is a psychosynthetic failure. Omega just kept it around to scare people. But instead he found that all of his victims were just mildly confused by it, so he retired it. He also made the gel guards. Remember them?
Oh, Moses! What's that?
That grumbling they're doing was actually a side effect of being created by a grumpy mental madman. This is Omega's subconscious leaking through. In his brain, it's just blah 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 blah. And John Morris's last headcanon is that he believes that Galaxy 4's reals actually are the bad guys. They really did fire first. And so this moral about not judging by appearances? Nah, the ugly bog monsters were lying all along. Bastards. Thank you for watching and tipping. This book was a joy. Absolutely perfect for this nonsense format. See you next time.